So here is the occipital lobe, the eyeball, optic nerve, optic chiasm, lateral geniculate body, and optic tract, also known as the genico-cacrine tract. Here are our visual fields. We are looking at this whole visual pathway, from the top. So the blue nerve on the left side here will pick up the left nasal field and will carry this visual information to the lateral geniculate body, where it will synapse with another nerve. And this other nerve will then carry this information to the occipital lobe. The blue nerve on the right eyeball here will capture images from the right temporal field and will carry this information down the optic nerve and will cross over at the optic chiasm and synapse with the neurons of the left lateral geniculate body. The nerves will then carry the information to the occipital lobe. This orange optic nerve on the left eyeball here will capture images from the left temporal visual field and cross over at the optic chiasm and synapse at the right lateral geniculate body, where it will relay the information to the to the optic tract, which then will bring it to the occipital lobe. Now, similarly, the orange optic nerve of the right eye will capture the image from the right nasal visual field. It will not cross over, but will remain. Will relay this information, down to the lateral geniculate body, and then it will synapse with other nerves along the optic tract and then down to the occipital lobe.
The first order neurons in the visual pathway are the bipolar cells of the retina. The second order neurons are the retinal ganglion cells. Their axons are the fibers of the optic nerve. The optic nerves leave each orbit through the optic canal, and they come together in the area of the pituitary gland to form an X-like pattern called the optic chiasm. From there, the nerve fibers are referred to as the optic tracts. Only half of the fibers from each optic nerve actually cross at the chiasm, specifically the fibers stemming from the medial half of each retina. Since light travels in straight lines, light reflecting off of objects in the lateral visual field of each eye strike the medial retina, and vice versa. So only images from the lateral fields of view are perceived by the contralateral cerebrum. The other half of the fibers stay ipsilateral, so only images in the medial fields of view are perceived by the ipsilateral cerebrum. Since the brain controls contralateral motor responses, each side of the brain needs to see what is on the other side of the body. This helps us react quickly to visual stimuli. Most axons of the optic tracts end in the lateral geniculate nucleus of the thalamus, where they synapse with neurons of the optic radiation. These white matter fibers project to an area in the occipital lobe called the primary visual cortex. This is where conscious visual sensation occurs, so we can perceive an image based on the way light is striking the retina. Damage to the occipital lobe can cause blindness, even if the eyes are functioning normally. A few optic nerves end in the superior colliculi and pretectal nuclei of the midbrain. The superior colliculi control the visual reflexes of the extrinsic eye muscles, so we can reflexively move our eyes in response to light. The pretectal nuclei are involved in the accommodation reflex for near vision, as well as the reflex that causes your pupils to constrict in response to light.